Introduction to the current used luxury SUV market. There are 5 luxury SUVs sitting on used car lots right now with heated leather seats, panoramic sunroofs, and premium sound systems that nobody is touching. And the reason nobody is touching them has nothing to do with reliability. It has everything to do with perception. I have been turning wrenches for over 2 decades, and I have watched something happen in the used car market that honestly makes me angry on your behalf. Buyers are spending $22,000 on a basic Toyota RAV4, while a 2013 Lexus with the same engine, more features, and better materials sits 3 spots down the lot for $13,500 with a price drop sticker on the windshield. That is not an exaggeration. That is Tuesday at any used car dealership in America. Here is what the market has not figured out yet. Depreciation does not care about quality. It cares about age, mileage, and brand perception. And right now, a handful of luxury SUVs have taken depreciation hits so severe that the gap between what they cost and what they are worth is genuinely embarrassing. Today, I'm giving you 5 of them, all under $15,000, all with drivetrains I would personally put my family in. I am going deepest on number 1 because that one is the single best luxury SUV deal I have ever seen in the used market. And I have been watching this market for 22 years. Let us count it down. Top 1 American luxury crossover option number 5. Lincoln MKX 2011 to 2015. Most people walk right past this one, and I understand why. The Lincoln brand has spent the last decade being the punchline of luxury jokes. But here is what people get wrong. The MKX is not really a Lincoln underneath. It is a Ford Edge with a $15,000 premium interior bolted on top. Same platform, same 3.7L, naturally aspirated V6 producing 305 horsepower. Same proven 6-speed select shift automatic that Ford had refined for years before this thing rolled off the line. The difference is that Lincoln wrapped it in real leather, added active noise cancellation, included a THX certified audio system, and gave it a softer, more planted ride tune. I had a customer last spring, a retired engineer, meticulous about maintenance. He brought in his 2013 MKX all-wheel drive with 111,000 MI. He had bought it 2 years earlier for $9,800. He wanted a 100,000 mile inspection. He wanted to know what was lurking. I spent 2 hours going through that vehicle top to bottom. You know what I found? Front brake pads were at about 40%. Rear differential fluid had not been changed. That was it. Total cost to bring it up to perfect mechanical condition, $380. The 3.7L Cyclone V6 in these is naturally aspirated, no turbos to fail. It is timing chain driven. It does not have a belt interval. And Ford's 6-speed 6F50 transmission has millions of miles of real-world data backing up its durability. The common complaint is shift quality, sometimes clunky at low speeds. But that is a comfort issue, not a reliability issue. Current market reality. A clean 2012 or 2013 Lincoln MKX all-wheel drive with under 90,000 MI is sitting between $9,000 and $13,000. That is a panoramic moonroof, heated and ventilated front seats, 20-way adjustable power seating, and a premium interior for less than what most people spend on a 10-year-old Honda Pilot. Inspection checklist. Check the PTU, the power transfer unit on all-wheel drive models. It is a known weak point if the fluid has not been changed every 30,000 miles. Fluid is cheap. A neglected PTU is $1,200. Pull the dipstick and look for a milky or metallic consistency. Second, test the air suspension if it is equipped. Let the car sit overnight and check if one corner sags in the morning. Compressor replacement is $600 if it does. Third, look at the panoramic roof seals. Some models developed leak issues. Run your hand along the headliner near the roof edge and feel for moisture. Cosmetic fix, but worth negotiating on. Top 2, a specific Cadillac recommendation. Number 4, the Cadillac SRX from 2010 to 2016. Before you click away, hear me out. I know the Cadillac reputation and I know the 2.8L turbocharged SRX had real issues. I am not recommending that one. I am recommending something specific, the 3.0L or 3.6L V6 SRX, and only those. The 3.6L LFX V6 in the 2013 to 2016 SRX is a completely different story. That engine powers the Camaro. It powers the ATS, the CTS, the Impala. General Motors put it in everything because it is genuinely excellent. Timing chain driven, direct injection, 308 horsepower, and repair costs that shock people when they see how low they are. Here is the real selling point. The manufacturer's suggested retail price on a loaded 2014 SRX was $52,000. Today, that same vehicle with $85,000 ME sells for $10,500 to $13,500. That is $38,000 in depreciation on a vehicle that still has the Bose audio system, ventilated seats, navigation, and a premium interior that people will assume you spent $30,000 on. I personally inspected an SRX Premium Collection last fall, a 2014 with 79,000 MI. Every luxury feature turned on. The buyer paid $11,200. She asked me if she had been ripped off. I told her she got away with something. Known issues to watch for. Some LFX engines develop timing chain stretch earlier than expected, typically after 90,000 miles if oil changes were irregular. Listen for a rattling noise on cold starts. That is your warning. Timing chain service runs about $1,200. If it does not rattle on a cold start, you are fine. Second, the sunroof drain tubes on some models clog and leak into the interior. Pop the headliner at the A-pillar and look for water staining. It is an easy fix if you catch it early. Just blow out the tubes with compressed air. Who this is for? Someone who wants the feel of driving a $50,000 luxury SUV and does not need to impress anyone with the badge. Inside this thing is nicer than half the crossovers people are buying new today. Top 3 best kept secret from Japan. Number 3, Infiniti QX50 FX55 from 2009 to 2013. This one is the best kept secret in the entire used luxury market. Nobody talks about it, and that is baffling to me because the people who own them refuse to sell them. The QX70, sold as the FX35 and FX37 before 2014, is built on Nissan's FM platform, the same rear-wheel drive base platform that underpins the 370Z. This is a sports car chassis wearing a luxury SUV body, and the engine that powers it, the VQ35DE and VQ37V HR V6 engines, are arguably Nissan's most celebrated V6 engines. Ward's Auto gave the VQ engine a spot on their 10 best engines list for 10 consecutive years. 10 years in a row. The VQ37 produces 325 horsepower naturally aspirated. There is no turbo, no hybrid complexity, and no CVT. It is paired with a 7-speed automatic transmission that has proven itself reliable across hundreds of thousands of real-world miles. I had a customer 2 years ago who came in to get a pre-purchase inspection on a 2010 FX35 AWD. He found it for $9,800, $112,000 MI, one owner, full service history. He was nervous because the mileage was over 100,000. I put it up on the lift and told him what I was looking at. The vehicle had been maintained, had tight suspension components, and showed zero evidence of abuse. It was the most honest inspection I had done that month. He bought it. 6 months later, he texted me a photo from a road trip to Colorado. Still running, still loving it. Current pricing, 2010 to 2013, FX35 AWD with 90,000 to 120,000 MI is landing between $9,000 and $14,500. For that money, you are getting one of the most engaging luxury SUV driving experiences ever engineered. This thing does not drive like an SUV. It drives like a sports sedan that someone stretched upward. What to inspect? The VQ35 in the 2009 and 2010 models can consume a small amount of oil. Check the level and look for blue smoke on cold start. Not universal, but worth checking. Second, listen for clunking from the rear suspension on rough roads. The rear differential bushings wear on high mileage examples. Budget $400 if they are soft. Third, check the navigation and infotainment systems. The older generation Infiniti systems can have hard drive failures. Not a deal breaker, but factor in $300 for an aftermarket unit if it is glitching. Who this is for? Anyone who actually wants to enjoy driving. Again, this is not an appliance, this is a machine. Top 4 reliable family workhorse. Number 2, Acura MDX 2010 to 2014. If the Lexus RX is the gold standard of reliable luxury SUVs, the Acura MDX is its overlooked Honda sibling that deserves the same conversation. And right now it is $5,000 cheaper than the Lexus with comparable real-world reliability numbers. The MDX is built on Honda's platform powered by Honda's J35 3.5 LV6, the same engine family that has been bulletproofing Odyssey minivans and pilots for 20 years. This engine is not exciting. It is not flashy. It is, however, the kind of engine that I have personally seen run $280,000 MI on a customer's pilot with nothing but oil changes. And I have zero reason to believe the MDX version behaves differently. What makes the MDX special is what you get on top of that reliability. Three-row seating, super handling, all-wheel drive, Honda's SHAWD system, which distributes torque left to right across the rear axle for better cornering. An interior that was genuinely luxurious when new and still feels upscale today. The technology package models came with a full backup camera, lane departure warning, forward collision warning, and adaptive cruise control. Features that were premium in 2012 and still matter in daily driving. A family came to me last summer. 2 kids, third on the way. They had $13,000 to spend and wanted something safe and reliable. The husband had his heart set on a Highlander. I told him to drive a 2013 MDX with 78,000 from I had seen listed for $12,400 first, then make his decision. He called me the next day. He bought the MDX. His exact words, "I didn't know a $13,000 car could feel that nice." Current market pricing, 2010 to 2014, Acura MDX all-wheel drive with $80,000 to $100,000 MI is selling for $10,500 to $14,500. The technology package trim, the one with the full suite of safety and navigation features, adds maybe $1,500 to the price and is worth every dollar. Inspection checklist. The third row sees more abuse than any other part of a family SUV. Inspect it carefully. Worn or damaged third-row mechanisms are a $600 headache. Second, the 2010 to 2013 MDX had a known issue with the VCM, variable cylinder management system, causing engine misfires and oil consumption in some examples. The symptom is a slight vibration at highway speeds. This can be addressed with an aftermarket VCM disabler kit for about $80, but confirm it is not happening before you buy. Third, check all 3 rows of heated seats. Seat heater element failures are common on high-mileage examples. Inexpensive to fix, but easy to use as a negotiating chip. Top 5 ultimate luxury SUV value. Number 1, Lexus RX 350 from 2010 to 2015. This is the one. This is the SUV I recommend above everything else to anyone with $15,000 and the patience to find a clean example. Let me tell you something I have told 100 customers. The Lexus RX 350 is not a luxury SUV with Toyota reliability. It is a Toyota SUV with Lexus luxury. That distinction matters because while people pay $8,000 to $10,000 premium to own the Lexus badge on a new vehicle, the used market has forgotten what is underneath the badge. The 2GRFE 3.5 LV6 in the 2010 to 2015 RX 350 is the same engine family found in the Toyota Highlander, the Camry V6, and the Sienna. It is Toyota's most proven, most widespread, most indestructible V6 design. No turbo, no direct injection problems, timing chain driven. I have serviced examples of this engine north of 300,000 miles that were running as cleanly as the day they left the factory. That is not marketing. That is a mechanical reality I have witnessed with my own hands. The 6-speed automatic transmission paired with this engine are equally bomb-proof. The U660E transmission has a track record across millions of Toyota and Lexus vehicles. In my 22 years, I have never replaced one due to internal failure on a properly maintained RX 350. Not one. Now here is where the math becomes genuinely uncomfortable for people who bought German luxury at this price point. A 2012 Lexus RX 350. All-wheel drive, fully loaded with navigation, Mark Levinson audio, a panoramic roof, power lift gate, heated and ventilated seats, sells today for $11,000 to $14,500 with $80,000 to $100,000 MI. When that vehicle was new, the manufacturer's suggested retail price was $47,000. That is a $33,000 depreciation hit, and the vehicle still drives, rides, and presents identically to how it did in the showroom. Compare that to a 2012 BMW X5 at the same price point, roughly $11,000 to $13,000 with similar miles. I service both. The RX comes in for oil changes. The X5 comes in for oil changes, coolant system repairs, electric gremlins, air suspension compressors, transfer case service, and the occasional timing chain conversation nobody wants to have. The annual maintenance cost gap between these two vehicles over $50,000 is routinely $2,500 to $4,000 on a $12,000 car. That is catastrophic math. I had a customer 3 years ago, a woman in her early 50s, a school teacher. She had $13,000 and was leaning toward a 2012 BMW X5 at a dealer down the road because it looked impressive. I asked one question: how important is it to you that your car is still running on Tuesday? She bought the Lexus. She calls my shop for appointments now. Regular oil changes, brake pads once, tires twice. That is it. In 3 years and 41,000 miles, that is her entire repair and maintenance history. Detailed inspection checklist for the RX 350. First, check the vehicle identification number for any open recall on the dashboard. 2010 to 2014 RX models in hot climates had a known dashboard cracking issue. Toyota and Lexus extended the coverage. Confirm it has been addressed or negotiated into the price. Second, check for a ticking sound from the 2GR FE engine on cold starts. Some higher mileage examples develop VVTi gear wear. It sounds like a rapid tick for the first 10 to 20 seconds. Then it disappears. If it disappears cleanly, it is manageable. If it persists, walk away or negotiate $1,500 off for a potential VVTi actuator replacement. Third, test the navigation hard drive. 2010 to 2012 models use a Generation 6 navigation system that runs off a hard drive, which can fail with age. A slow or glitchy navigation screen is a $400 to $600 fix. Use that to negotiate. Fourth, check the rear air suspension on fully loaded models. Some RX 350s came with rear self-leveling suspension. Let the vehicle sit for 30 minutes and check if the rear drops. A leaking height control actuator is $600 to $800. Fifth, and this is the one that separates smart buyers from everyone else, look for a 1 or 2 owner example with a service history at a Lexus or Toyota dealer. These vehicles attract a very specific type of owner. Someone who bought luxury and maintained it the way luxury owners maintain things. Find that owner's car, and you are buying something that was treated better than 90% of vehicles on the road. Who this is for? Anyone who wants to arrive somewhere in a vehicle that feels genuinely premium and has zero anxiety about whether it will start tomorrow. Long-distance commuters, small families that do not need a third row, anyone who has ever written a check to a German car dealership and hated themselves afterward. Who should skip it? If you need 3 rows, look at the 2014 and newer RXL or the Highlander. The standard RX is a 2-row SUV. If you are buying purely for resale value in 2 years, the depreciation on these has mostly bottomed out. You will not lose much, but you will not gain much either. Final thoughts on the used luxury market. Final thoughts here is the reality of the used luxury SUV market right now. The window for these deals is not permanent. As more buyers figure out that a $13,000 Lexus and a $13,000 Mazda are not the same conversation, prices will correct. They always do. I watched the same thing happen with the first-generation Acura TL in the early 2010s. People ignored it. It got cheap. Smart buyers snapped them up. And then values stabilized when the market finally caught on. The 5 vehicles I gave you today are the Lincoln MKX, the Cadillac SRX with the 3.6 V6, the Infiniti QX70, the Acura MDX, and the Lexus RX 350. They are all sitting in that window right now, all under $15,000. All have drivetrains I would personally put my own family in. All have depreciation curves that have nothing to do with reliability and everything to do with age and badge perception. You now know what the smart buyers know. Go find a clean one. Get it inspected by a mechanic who has no financial interest in the sale and drive it for the next $100,000 mine. Your bank account will thank you. Call to action. If this breakdown changed the way you look at used luxury vehicles, please subscribe and like the video. We are uncovering the automotive history and market secrets that others try to keep buried. Invest in your future drive. The next hidden treasure in the car market will be revealed soon.